News.
And I do have 9 a.m.
Good morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m. Tuesday, November 26th, and it is time for our weekly Cudahy County Board of Commissions weekly meeting. We'll open the meeting with a Pledge of Allegiance, and Troy, I believe it's your turn today.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Troy. Housekeeping, if you have a cell phone, which I'm sure you do, please silence it or turn it off. If you do get a call that you need to take, please step out into the rotunda area so you don't disrupt the meeting or whoever happens to be speaking at that time. This meeting is being streamed live, so if you address the board, more than likely you will be on the live stream, and I announce that simply for your information so you're aware of that this is actually happening and it is live. And at this time, is there anyone in the audience that wishes to address the board in regards to an item that is not on the agenda? We certainly want to allow time for you to do that. We would do that during the open. We wouldn't be able to make any decisions since it isn't on the agenda. But we would like to hear from you if you have some concerns or things that you'd like to bring to our attention. Seeing none, then how about the board? Is there anyone that has any concerns with the conflict of interest of any of the items on the agenda?
No.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion to accept the...
approve the agenda.
Second
We have a
motion.
motion by Hatton, a second by Van Dusen to approve the agenda. Is there any questions? Any comments? Any questions? Coffee pot is really rolling back here. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Move to approve as emailed.
The minutes of the November 19th meeting, a motion by Hatton to approve, a second by, who made that second? Commissioner Waterman. Any additions, any comments, anything anyone would like to add? Any questions, any comments? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Motion is approved. Monthly reports, we'll start right out with the emergency management. And that's still Jim. Morning, Jim.
Morning, Jim.
Good morning, Jim.
Yeah.
Hit the button, so it's, there you go.
There we go. Just a few things this morning. The cybersecurity survey that was required by the State Office of Homeland Security, we did, I told you about it last month. We did get that completed and submitted to PEER. And so far, it looks like we did it the right way because we haven't heard back from them anyway. We've submitted all the necessary paperwork to FEMA for our small project work from our spring disaster. And with Cindy's help on that, we've got that paperwork submitted. And I think we should be receiving some reimbursement funds in the near future on that. Because I don't think there's anything else that we need to do or can do at this point. It's just for them to finish up their paperwork and process our request for, assistance. We continue to work with PEER on this latest disaster declaration. It's DR-4469, and that's the one where we did not get included, and we're appealing it, and we're submitting information to PEER this week, in fact, on that, and we're trying to, appeal and be reconsidered for assistance for the work that we've had to do. I'll keep you updated on it, but right now we're just in the process of doing the appeal and submitting the information that they're requesting. And if one or other projects in the county get denied, I'm going to request, in writing, why that we're not being considered, because we definitely have the damage there. On December 4th, I'll be attending the city department head meeting, and also on December 4th, I'll be attending a department head meeting over at City Hall, and we're working on establishing flood levels for different structures out at Lake Compesca and stuff. Just kind of getting our ducks in a row, for this coming spring. So we're doing a lot of work with the city on that.
Is that the readings at the different stations, Jim? Getting them all together?
The municipal utilities has been working on it, so has the city's engineering staff. But like municipal utilities, they have went out to the structures or the homes on the lake, and they know what elevation and the gas meters are at, what elevation the electrical boxes are at. They've tried to establish a floor level for each structure. So we have some information, then they're plugging everything into a computer program so that we'll be able to say, okay, if the lake is at this elevation, these 6 structures will be affected.
Oh, got it.
And we raise it 6 inches, and okay, now these 4 additional homes will be affected. So when the lake gets up to a certain level, they shut off the utilities to that structure, like the gas and so forth. So that would really definitely help us. They've done a lot of work on that, and I really compliment them for what they've been doing.
I believe, Jim, isn't it possible for the residents who live around the lake, if they call the engineering department at City Hall, that they would be able to figure out what those elevations are?
I'm sure that they can, yes. And if they get hold of the engineering office, they'd be able to answer some questions for them. Okay. Just a reminder, on January 28th and 29th, we've scheduled a public information officer class that will be held here in Watertown, and there's a number of people that have signed up for that class already. The ICS 300 and 400 classes that we had this fall had just a very good turnout. We had like 26, 27 students in each one, so that was a very good turnout, and I hope to have a good turnout here for this public information officer class also.
What's the deadline to register for that?
I don't know if there's a deadline, but anybody that's interested in doing the public information officer class, I would ask that they, get online. I can give them the link to where they can get online and register for it. Because if there's a certain number that
It's limited space.
I don't know if there's limited, but as far as but sometimes they say that they don't want more than 20 students, for example.
Certain things.
And so if you're the 21st student, then you're on a waiting list if somebody else cancels out. So
Right.
it's best to get registered early. We continue to supply some sandbags at the detention center for people that are doing work on their, their property out at the lake. We are having a hazmat class up at LATI. That'll be on December 13th, and it starts at 8 o'clock on December 13th. That'll be in room 914 in the Met building. And that's open to first responders and other interested individuals. If anybody has any questions about attending the class, they can get a hold of me, and I can answer any questions and help them get the information they need for the class. And again, that's the hazmat awareness class. And the last thing I've got is the sandbags that we ship down to Lake County. We did get the replacement bags that were shipped in here from North Dakota, and currently out at our storage building we have 129,000 bags in storage there, so we're well prepared for many events that may come up this spring. And I guess that's all I've got, unless there's questions.
How many bags do we use with a significant flood event? Like,
Usually in the
I mean,
neighborhood of
what's-
50,000
Okay.
is what we use. And we didn't have as many sandbags many years ago as what we have in storage right now. And it goes back to 2011 when there was a major flood on the Missouri River. And after the event down at Dakota Dunes, there was a lot of sandbags that were there that we were able to get some free sandbags from the Army Corps of Engineers and from FEMA, and we got 60,000 free sandbags.
Wow.
That all we had to do is pay for trucking them up here, and so that raised the number of bags that we have. But I feel this is a good supply for us because you keep them dry and out of the sunlight and so forth in a building. They last for many years, so it's better to be safe than sorry, when the time comes, to have them on hand and ready to go.
good.
And they are stored in the new building that we built, so they're high and dry.
They're high and dry. The old building wasn't nearly as good.
Yeah, that was high and it leaked from above.
Oh, it did, yeah.
There's even dampness would break those down,
Yeah.
if they got moist or whatever, so.
Yeah.
So what is the, I was out to the lake this past week, just looking at the situation out there. Where are we in level? I thought it started to come down a little bit.
It's been coming down, and it's been coming down slow, but as you see going through town, the river's just bank full yet, so.
This morning it's
gonna
at
take a while.
19.16.
What was it?
19.16.
Okay.
19.16 this
At the
morning.
water plant this morning.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what flood level is out there. What do they say? It's 18 something?
Well, on the gauge, it's like 17.8 is the full level.
Well,
So
it's still
that's at
Still high.
the old water treatment plant, that
Right.
gauge.
very, very high yet.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I wish it was 2 feet under full instead of,
Yeah.
19 and a half inches above full going into the freeze up here.
And no, I wasn't ice fishing.
Yeah.
I just was checking stuff out.
Just checking it out.
I need a little more ice before I go out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Any questions for Jim?
The one thing that I would say is, with Thanksgiving coming on, People need to listen to the local news outlets. There's our forecasts of 1 to 4 inches of snow in our area for going into tonight into tomorrow, and then again on the weekend. The one on the weekend, they aren't giving us a good prediction on the amounts, but it could be very major event that Friday, Saturday for us, in that 8 to 12 inches of snow in some areas of the state.
Now that you said that, we should probably just talk just a minute. Sheriff Howell's here. What we've been doing the last couple of years when we've had a blizzard, and we're wondering if we should open the courthouse or not, or whatever. Jim takes off, and Jim usually goes west. And Brad, of course, he comes in from God's country out there, the end of the world, You can see it from there anyway. And
It's up in the hill.
Up in the hill, yeah, and I'm up north. And between the three of us, we call each other and come to some kind of a conclusion. And we've usually been talking to Milo when Milo was here and
Right.
got him involved. Is that process still okay with everybody, Brad?
Usually get a hold of Rick as well.
Yep, Rick.
His input.
Yeah.
So
But,
we call back and forth and get input from everybody,
Yep.
and then we let you make the decision, Myra.
Yep.
Well, we won't have to worry this week anyways, Thursday, Friday, because we're closed
That's-
anyway
we're
for
closed,
Friday.
yeah.
Of course, Thursday, but Friday we're closed, so.
That's the process that we use.
Yeah, and the monkey lands on my shoulder, and that's fine.
Yep.
I got a big shoulder, so, and then I usually get a hold of Cindy or whatever, and we go from there. But that's kind of what we've been doing, and
Actually, Brad usually sends out a nixle
Yep.
for
Yep.
county
yeah.
employees.
And that,
Our own
those-
system, so.
if anybody doesn't, that Nixle, what's the number? 888-777?
You got it.
I got her. How about that? I am right on top of
And then
it.
you-
Everybody should get on that because it is slick.
Yeah, you text 888-777, and you enter your zip code, and you text that zip code off to that number, and then you're set up for the next alerts.
Yeah, and what I do appreciate, and Brad mentioned this on the radio, he doesn't overuse it. I mean, when you get a message from Brad, you should read it, because he's not going to send them just out of the clear blue, He's going to send them when there is a situation that we need to be aware of. And we appreciate that. All right, anything else for Jim? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice
Jim.
Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
All right, Brad, you're up. Mr. Brad Howell, our Cottington County Sheriff. And we heard you on the radio yesterday. You did an excellent job, and those numbers of going through security still
Amaze me as
amaze
well.
me.
There's
Yeah, they just amaze me.
so many people that are going through there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get started on the monthly balance sheet here. The bank balance end of October 19 was $8,190.60. Collected $4 in copy fees. Sheriff's fees collected, we collected $7,347.10, and $250 in warrant fees were collected, for a grand total of $7,601.10. We jump to the next page there. Lee's got her up on the big screen. Looking at October calls and cases for service, there were 657 cases and calls for service. And if we jump back, you don't see them on your sheet there, but if you jump back to October of 18, we had 560. So we've been a lot busier. The wind towers, we got a lot more traffic, a lot more things that are happening up in the northeast part of the county. Also the northwest with the wind towers that are going on in Clark. You can see there's a lot more calls. If you jump back to September, we had 610 last month, and then in 18 we had 536 in 18. So you can see both of those months have been a lot busier than they have been historically in the past. So there was 19 accidents reported that we responded to. 77 warrants were served. 237 civil papers served. And the miles on the transports are down a little bit, kind of getting back to normal, hopefully, at 3,524 miles. That was 13 trips, and 18 people were transported out those miles there. If we jump down, we'll see some of the jail activity. In October, our average daily population was 70.35. Our high ADP was 76. Low was 65. Just this morning we were at 61, so our numbers are down a little bit more the last week and a half, about 58 to 61, so they've been down a little bit as well. If you look at the scram of the 24/7, we got 32 participants on the scram. Twice weekly PBTs, 64 people. Twice weekly UAs, we have 44 people. And on the sweat patch, we have 3 people for a grand total of 143 people in the 24/7 program. And the bookings are staying about the same if you look through all the months there, 238 bookings for the month of October. If we jump on down there to the bottom, some of the fees we've collected $26,041.38 for out-of-county contracts, collected $8,090 for work release fees, 24/7 fees, $6,581, and for scram fees was $4,778. So,
Those are coming up.
yeah, there's been a lot more out-of-county inmates, it seems like, in the last few months than there has been in the past. So,
I suppose we have room right now, so then we're able to
yep,
accommodate them.
our numbers have been down a little bit, and we're working with them. So, if we have the room, we might as well.
You see, that's a
Work with
high
the other
for the
county.
year.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's a high for the year.
That's the high for the year, yep. So, then I got just a couple more things here to touch base on before we get going. Last week, for the county employees, we did hold an ALICE training. What ALICE training is, it's like an active intruder training to train staff on what to do if something bad happens, what they can do in their workspace, options to kind of get them forward thinking a little bit. So we held that last Friday for all the county employees and all the county shop, all the county courthouse employees.
Anybody that
emergency
could make
management.
it, yep.
So then we went from there, we went to each office and kind of talked with all the staff, kind of, like I say, once again, get them forward thinking of things they can do instead of just shelter in place. And so that was a good training, good turnout. One other thing that the sheriff's office we've been working on, switching gears a little bit, we just kicked off Operation Warm last week. Operation Warm, remember last year we did Project Pajamas. For this year, Operation Warm, we are looking for warm clothes for kids. Looking for snow pants, jackets, shoes, boots, hats, gloves, all these new items. Reached out to all the principals and the superintendents out in the county and in town here, and kind of got some of their needs from some of the students and some of the needs that they see on a daily basis. And those were some of the things that come up. So you can drop those off at KXLG, Watertown Radio, and also at the sheriff's office between here and December 13th. December 13th will be the big day to pick everything up. Our goal is to get enough clothing and extra clothes that we can have a couple totes in each school, hand them out, and let the teachers and the staff at the schools hand them out as needed to the students, because they're there working with them students. So, so if you guys want to donate, feel free to
And
drop off some
you
clothes.
want those items to be new, is that correct?
Our goal is for new clothes, yeah.
Okay.
And you will always take cash.
I'd rather not, but cash does work. We do have a fund that we set up for cash. And,
You had a pretty significant cash donation already.
We did. Watertown Ford donated $1,000 towards this
Well,
program already.
good.
So
That's great. Thank you.
What
That's
ages are you targeting, basically? Like what sizes are you finding?
all the way through 8th grade, but our main ages are like pre-K through 2nd and 3rd grade. There's a lot of need in that. You know, the kids grow fast, and sometimes parents forget, or the kid may forget to bring their hat and gloves or something to school that day. I know my kid has a tendency to do that, run out the door, hop on the bus, and forget her hat and gloves. But there are some needs there. Some of the principals and the superintendents did reach out and give specific needs for specific children. So we're trying to fulfill those needs as well for those kids as well. So a little bit of everything is what we're looking for.
Right.
so.
New stuff.
Looking for new stuff.
Okay.
It gives you an opportunity to come up here on Black Friday coming up and do some shopping, so.
There you go. All right, anything else for Brad?
And kind of back in leading to Watertown Ford and the Family Worship Center for Thanksgiving. I want to thank them a little early. Watertown Ford is going to be providing dinner for our inmates, and the Family Worship Center is going to be doing supper for our inmates. So just like to thank them for that, I guess. So.
Okay,
Thank you.
anything else for Brad? Anything?
Question, the 8-point program, anything going on with that, or has that been implemented at all with our inmates, or is that still a work in progress?
The what program?
8-point program, kind of a questionnaire sort of thing?
We are still working with Bruce on that a little bit. We got the paperwork, and we are working on getting that
Okay.
put in place here. So.
Sounds good. Thanks, appreciate that.
Okay,
Thanks, Brad.
thank you. All right, we're going to deviate from the actual agenda. We're going to go down to number 9, action to disperse juvenile justice reinvestment funds to the Watertown Boys and Girls Club. And in your packet, there's a letter. I think most of you do have the letter that came from, I think you gave it back to me. You got it? You find it? And, yeah, I got one here too. It says in the office of the governor, and it's from Lisa Felch.
Lisa is in the state's attorney's office. She's the one who submitted our data for reimbursement.
So, who wants to take the lead on this? Becky, our state's attorney, and you folks from Boys and Girls come on up forward so we can introduce you, or you can introduce yourself, and so the press and
Push that button on there.
online people will know who you are. So go ahead and introduce yourself so we know, everybody knows who you are.
Oh, I'm Brooke Reedburn from the Boys and Girls Club.
Could you talk right into the microphone?
Brooke Reedburn from the Boys and Girls Club.
Thank you.
And we have, again, received an annual allotment from the state of South Dakota for the juvenile justice reinvestment money. And in the past, we have designated that money to go to the Boys and Girls Club for the youth diversion programs. So we are, again, asking for that money. I believe it's $2,478
And 40 cents.
and 40 cents. That to be designated to the Boys and Girls Club. Brooke is the new coordinator there for the teen programs and is the one that is administering the programs that this money will go towards. And so I think, Brooke, if you can just kind of explain a little bit about the programs for the commissioners and what you're doing.
All right, well, so I'm still running the Teen Corps program, so that's staying the same, but we also added diversion, which is somewhat like Teen Court. Most of the dispositions are the same. Right now I have 34 kids that I'm supervising right now. I guess that's kind of the basis of it.
Can I just chime in? Just so, Mr. Chairman, Brooke is the person that we hired with the JDAI process. The issue, though, this works out really well because JDAI is for alternatives to detention. Diversion stuff basically keeps kids, holds them responsible for what they did, but it avoids a criminal record. And so Teen Court and the other diversion things. And so with Brooke, we were able to expand beyond Teen Court, because Teen Court's kind of the heavy-duty deluxe diversion thing that might be a bit of overkill a lot of times when you could do something a little bit more quick and to the point at times. And so with Brooke there, we can do that, and I think that maybe that's why the caseload's going up a bit. So I would make a motion to
I'll second
approve
that.
this. So.
Okay, we have a motion by Lee. The motion should read that this is pass-through money, basically.
Yeah, we're going to allocate these funds to the Watertown Boys and Girls Club, and we will pay those out when we pay bills in December. So you'll see it come through on the claims list.
And just keep in mind, so Brooke's position is funded by a grant, so this is one thing that, that we need. I think it just makes sense. I mean, since, the diversion program is being run through the Boys and Girls Club through Brooke, then it just kind of makes sense to to allocate that money to the Boys and Girls Club, because that's,
Right.
And we have done this, I think, the past 2 years.
It
Last
might
year
even
for
be-
sure.
Right, it might
Yeah.
even be
This
3.
might be the third or fourth year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Gable and a second by Commissioner Hatton. Is there any more discussion?
I just think when you're looking at 34 individuals that you're able to help, what a benefit that is to our community and to those juveniles as well. That's big for them to hopefully get back on track, so.
there is something that we should just make folks aware of in the governor's letter. So we got the check that Becky mentioned of $2,478.40. It would have been a little higher, but I guess statewide, a lot of youth have been diverted through these kinds of programs, not just in our county,
get
but
that?
elsewhere. And so the amount per case was reduced from $250 to $154.90 for successful completion. And this, by the way, that successful completion is kind of a significant, is it 4 months they have to stay offense-free, or is it 4? It's a certain number of months, so, but anyway, so just to be aware, and I don't know, that's maybe a conversation we can have with the legislator, about maybe, I'm guessing the budget line item at the state level just wasn't big enough to handle all the diversion cases throughout the state, and so they reduced the amount per case, so.
Okay, thank you. The only comment I'd be is that we very much support what you're doing up there. Everything you do just lightens the load down here. And we can really tell a difference, and it's been very successful, so keep up the good work. I have a motion, a second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. There you go.
Okay.
The check's in the
Thank you.
mail. Heard that before, right? All right, let's go back to item number 7 on the agenda, and that's action to reappoint the Veteran Service Officer for a 4-year term. You have the request in your packet. This is the one that says Veteran Service up in the upper hand corner. And this actually comes from Pierre, that we have to reappoint the Veterans Officer. Well, I don't know if we have to.
I'll make a motion that we do.
Second
Okay, we have a
that.
motion by
I'll second it.
Van Duzen to reappoint the Veterans Office for a 4-year term, and the second was by Hatton.
And that would be Al Jansen.
Correct.
It's a current.
Any discussion? Any discussion?
There is a South Dakota code law that you do need to reappoint or appoint someone every 4 years.
And part of his position, the funds for his position do come from the state.
Yeah.
We do, at the end of
Department of Veterans
December, or
Affairs.
after we have December payroll, we will send in a report to the state and get reimbursed based on our payments.
Okay.
Any more discussion? Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, the motion carries. Item number 8 is a request action to approve hiring of a temporary part-time welfare assistant. I don't know if you've all been getting the emails that I've gotten from Sarah, that Kim, the current part-time employee, is going to have surgery and will be out for 4 to 6 weeks or something like that, I believe.
3 to 4 months.
Yeah, 3 or 4 months, and I did communicate with Sarah and said, well, is that job going to be hard to fill, or is it possible? And she's looking at some different alternatives, and so it looks like she will be able to find someone.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and hire that. Now, is that, where is that money going to come from?
Welfare budget.
Out of her budget.
Just come from her budget?
Yeah.
Okay, so how long of a, it's temporary, so.
It's temporary.
Just for the period of time that
Yep.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
And we have a motion by Van Dusen, a second by Gable. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman, just a
Yes.
quick question. So if she, in her email, she mentions that she'd like to use a temp hiring agency, but there's fees with that. So if there's, would we have to approve that expense separately?
Yeah, that's a separate motion, and it's not
So
on
we'd
the
have-
agenda.
Yeah.
Right,
So-
I'm just wondering, so
Yeah.
we'll still have the opportunity
Yeah.
to kind of check what's
Yeah.
going on.
Right now, you're authorizing her
Right.
to
Hire a part.
hire a temporary person, and then she could come back to you and ask, depending on what luck she has in
Yeah.
finding one, then she can come back and ask to use that express employment.
just
And
as long as we have-
We have done this before, and it's probably not a bad idea, since this is just a very temporary position.
Yeah.
It's really not an employee.
At what rate would this person be hired on at then?
Whatever hourly rate is on our payroll resolution that,
Yeah.
depending on their experience, I would guess. She would have to come back with a personnel change form also.
If we use that express employment, though, then we have to pay 1.5% over and above, and
Yeah.
that's probably a monthly rate, so they manage that.
Yeah,
So it'd
so
be
that's why we need to-
1.5 above with that.
But we'll
Yeah,
get-
they manage, and they'll cover the workman's comp,
Yeah.
payroll taxes,
Yeah.
everything.
So, but we'll have the opportunity to act on that when that
Yes,
time comes.
if
Okay.
she so
Yeah.
asks.
It's a good program.
Well, like I said, I think we used it once many years ago, and I just don't remember the specifics.
If we get that far along, we'll get the details on it.
Yes.
Bring it back. We have a motion and a second. Good discussion, though. Good question, Lee. Appreciate that. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and motion carries. Let's go on then, we're down to number 10 then. And that's action to approve the 2020 wages for non-union employees. And in your packet is the note from our HR, Terry. And I think we have discussed this from time to time.
I'll make that motion to approve that.
We have a motion by
Second.
Commissioner Hatton, a second by Commissioner Van Duzen.
It's 1.75
Any
COLA.
discussion?
Yeah,
And
just
that
need
would
to say
be
the
adding
1.75%
1.75%
Yeah.
to each step within our payroll resolution.
For the non-union
For the
employees.
non-union appointed and elected
Yeah.
officials,
Yeah.
which is what the unions were also.
But we still have to set ours, the first.
Yours will be set at the first meeting of the year. Correct.
This is for everyone else.
Okay.
Any more discussion? We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Anything else? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Let's go on then to the riprap. That's no riffraff, that's riprap, right? And we got about a 3-page insert in your packet, and we have some bids to open up. And how many bids do we have today? 3?
No, we got more in after I talked to you.
Okay, then you've got a bid sheet, or bid sheets that we'll follow along with Rick. So, Rick, have at it. And who's the first bidder?
First bidder is J&J Earthworks.
J&J what?
Earthworks.
Earthworks out of,
Millbank. And there is a bid bond.
Did everybody get a chance to go through that handout? And so there is actually 3 separate categories. A A1 and a B2 and a C4. Or A1, H1, A2, and 4C, 4-1.
Okay, but let's see. 8-2 looks like $434,400.
Could you repeat that, Rick?
It's $434,400.
Thank you.
Okay, and then 4-1, which would be C, looks like $50,050. And 8-1 looks like $48,600.
You had a total?
573,730.
I got 533 and 50.
Okay, I see. On 8-2, there's another 19,350. I thought this was all totaled together, but it's not. And then 950,000, or $950, excuse me. That was for 8-2. There's fabric.
Okay, so it's 434, 400, 19,350, and
Yes,
what was the last one?
950.
950.
Okay.
Okay, what was your total, Rick?
The total was 573,730.
Not a cheap job, is it?
No.
What did you say it was?
573, 730.
Still
I'm coming
don't
up
get
with-
that.
I'm coming up
I
with-
still don't get that based on the numbers you
We're gonna have
read.
something different.
On each one of them, he has fabric. Because on 4-1, there's another $2,800. And then down on 8-1, there's $25,800.
And that's the fabric?
Yep.
There's more.
And then,
So I'm missing, we're missing some, so you're giving the cost for the materials as well? So with first, the big numbers are the labor and the,
yep, that's
Okay.
for the rock. I'm assuming placing it. And then the next one is fabric. And then there's borrow pit material. That was on 8-2.
okay, so 8-2, the total is 48,600 for, I'm sorry, for 8-1.
That was 48,600 plus 2,580.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
2580?
Yeah.
I get a total of
2,580.
558,730.
And then was there material cost on 4-1?
50,000
Well, no, 2,800.
plus 2,800.
4-1 was $50,050.
Yeah, plus 2,800 for materials?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a $15,000 mobilization part of the bid also. And that is on
Was that on
8-2.
8-2 on the top?
Yep, you have to add 15,000 to that.
Well, that's another 15,000 up there.
So I get 573,730 for a total bid.
Yep. Okay.
A lot of fabric. A lot.
Yeah.
Okay, the second bid is Bates Construction.
Out of where?
Twin Brooks. And it looks like there's a bid bond. Okay. 8-2. Starts off with 480,000. And then there's fabric for 24,500.
Say that amount again.
24,500. And then to install the pipe, it's 6,000.
We furnish the pipe.
Yep. Yep. Okay, and on 8-1, which would be bid A, looks like 52,000. And then fabric is $6,370.
I'm sorry, say that again, Rick. That's fabric is what?
6,370. And bid C is 52,000. And then the fabric is 6,370.
Same as bid A on the fabric?
What's that?
That's the same as bid A on the fabric, the 8-1? Same amount?
Bid B.
Yeah, A and C are the same.
Okay,
A and C is the same.
okay, that's what I was checking.
Fabric.
And then the total is $652,240.
Okay, there's something missing. I get 627,240 for the numbers that you read off.
Mobilization on the top, I'm sorry.
Okay, how much?
25,000.
25?
Yep.
Okay.
Total again, Rick?
$652,240.
Yep.
$652,240.
240.
What we went out and looked at? Rick, is this project, is this the one that we've been talking about?
Yeah, the one that's west of Compesca Lodge.
Medicine Lake?
No.
No, this is different.
That's a culvert project.
Okay, I'm just wondering the location. Okay,
Yeah, that's next week.
okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure I was looking at the right one here.
It's out in that vicinity, but not quite.
Okay, this one is Clausen Construction.
Out of,
Watertown. And there's a bid bond that looks good. Yes. Okay. Okay, 8-2. $14,240. And then a fabric is $14,751.18.
Say that one more time, 14,000?
$14,751.18. And then put in the culverts was $2,400. And then shaping was $2,500.
How much for the shaping?
2,500. And then 8-1 was $49,400. Fabric was $3,835.59.
Read it one more time.
$3,835.59. And then shaping was $1,200. Okay, 4-1 was $49,621. And then fabric was $3,835.59. And $1,200 for shaping.
Was there mobilization on 8-1?
Yes, well, the whole deal was 45,000.
49,400 on 8-1.
For the mobilization for the whole?
Mobilization is a separate, that just must have them all together.
Oh, and how much was that?
That was 45,000.
Okay.
With a total of $611,983.36.
Could you say that total again, please? 6,000.
$611,983.36. This is Lean Transportation out of Aberdeen.
How do you spell that?
L-I-E-N. And there is a bid bond. Looks like bid A is $444,000. Bid B is $48,100.
Should those be switched around?
That's what I'm wondering.
compared to the other ones, they're,
Yeah. Yes.
the 444 is more comparable to bid B.
Yeah,
8.2.
yeah, that's how he has it on the sheet here, so,
Okay,
yeah.
but, okay,
So
Yeah, they just need to be switched.
okay, all right.
41, so it's 48.
Bid A should be 48,100. Bid B
Yeah, that's
should be
the way-
444,000.
Yeah, the way he has it on the sheet is bid A was 444,000, so they should just be moved.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, bid C is 48,100. And then installing culverts is 13,800.
Which one is that, Rick?
It's just
That
separate.
eight?
It's just separate.
There's only one.
That would be on B.
Yeah.
And then he has fabric of $15,833.75.
All three?
They're all three.
They're all three.
Okay.
Must be all three together, so.
Okay.
Is there a mobilization on that one? Or am I getting ahead of you?
I do not see a mobilization. Because after that, gives the grand total of $569,833.75.
But there's no shaping or mobilization.
They have it figured in probably with
Probably
everything
have
else.
that figured in.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and the next one. There is cashier's check.
Who is it?
This is Jeff Argo Excavating.
Out of where?
Watertown.
Yeah.
Okay, on bid A, he has these, just like the last one, they're in the wrong order, but he has on bid A for the riprap and everything is 525,000. He has drainage fabric of $20,832.50. He has a total on that for $545,832.50. Okay, and on bid B, he has $56,875.
charges for all of them, I imagine.
No.
Okay.
It's fabric on this one
Okay.
of $5,415. And he has a total on that of $62,290. And on bid C, $56,875. In fabric, he has $5,415. And he has a total on that one of $62,290. The grand total of $670,412.50.
Yep. We've got some extras here. You may need
You may
another,
need
you
some?
may need another bid sheet.
I gave him a couple.
Oh, did you?
earlier,
Okay,
so-
all right, there's some more here if they need it. I've got what I need, so.
I messed up on mine.
Is that the right total on the top one?
572, 780?
Yeah.
573, 730.
Okay, I'm missing one amount there.
Read your numbers to me.
For A, it's 48,600
And 2580.
and 2580.
Yep.
For work B, it's 434,400, and then fabric is 19,350.
Yep, and there was a 950
Okay, 950 for.
Yep.
And 15,000.
and 15,000, yep. Total was 573,
Yeah, that's what I
730. Okay, got it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is Deutsch Excavating, Watertown. There's bid bond. Okay, on 8-2, there's mobilization of $12,500. Riprap is 456,000. And then fabric installed is 25,650. And then to place the pipe is $3,240. Okay, 8-1, which is A, is mobilization of $3,250. Then 49,400.
Is that riprap?
Yep. And then installing the fabric and purchasing the fabric was $6,675. And then C, which is 4-1, is $3,250 for mobilization.
3,250?
3250.
3,250.
Yeah, 3,250.
And then another $49,400 for rock. it's $6,675. And the grand total, because he put tax on here.
What kind of tax?
To do X.
Oh, excise tax.
Excise tax.
Well, yeah, you need to add that in.
Can you show it without?
$12,573.38. And then you can read the,
How much was excise tax? 12,000.
$12,573.38.
The other ones aren't showing the excise tax, so
No.
just for comparison. So
Yep. And the grand total is $628,613.38.
that's
What is it without the excise
I
tax?
come up with $616,040. Is that what you come up with for without?
yeah, I think I did it before, yeah.
Without excise tax.
Yeah.
So
Let me see, 1, 2,
1640?
yeah.
which 616,040, but we need to have the excise tax figured in on the other bids.
Right.
So
Because it would be a total part of the bid. You may have to call them and get those numbers from them
Okay.
before we can award a bid.
What's that? 616 what?
616,040 without the excise
Yeah, for
tax.
comparison's
Yep.
sake.
Mobilization, explain that.
That is where they move all their equipment out there, get things ready to go.
Set up.
Yep, set up.
Stick up for distance, things like that, I guess. So.
Can I say sometimes mobilization, we include the excise tax fee in that mobilization, so a lot of them other guys could have.
Okay, that's what we'll have to
The
verify.
excise tax is included in their mobilization.
Yeah, we will have to verify that before we can award a bid.
Thank you.
That's a pretty big item. All around.
Is this the last one, Rick?
Yes. This is Clausen and Sons.
Lawson and Son?
Yes.
Didn't we have a Clausen?
That's
It's off
Clausen Construction is the first one.
And this is out of,
Watertown.
Excuse me.
And there is a bid bond. And this one has it, bid fee of $442,200.
Sorry, say that again.
$442,200.
$442,200.
Okay.
Did I say it wrong the first time?
400,000.
No, I just was making sure. I was just making sure.
Streamlined.
Okay, and then it looks like fabric is 15,000.
Even?
Yes. And then putting in the pipes is 3,000. Okay, bid B is $47,905. With 3,900 for fabric. And then bid C is $47,905. And then 3,900 for fabric. And then 3,900 for fabric. And then bid D is $47,905. And then bid E is $47,905. And then bid F is $47,900. And then bid G is $47,905. And then bid H is $47,900. And then bid I
No
$563,810.
separate mobilization fee?
I don't see anything.
No shaping or anything like that?
No.
Well, we're gonna have to have Rick go back and review these and then get the additional information from those that didn't put the tax on. And,
Yeah. I mean, if that's in there or if it needs to be added.
yeah. And you can't do that by the end of the meeting, I don't think.
Got too many phone calls to make. So,
Next week?
yeah, we'll have to do it next.
We'll have to have a motion to postpone the bid award for 1 week.
Motion by Hatton to postpone
Second.
until next week, second by Commissioner Gable. He beat you to it.
I guess Commissioner Van Duzen, actually.
Any discussion?
Is this going to hamper what your plans are to try to, I mean, because we'll be waiting till next week, is that going to be an issue for you, or?
Most of this can be done when the weather's,
Okay.
because most of the road is already there. We still have one spot we're working on,
Okay.
but this can be done, other than putting the 2 culverts in. That's the only thing that'll have to go in the ground, and part of that's in the water, so it'll have to be in the water 5 feet, but
Okay.
Thanks,
All
Rick.
right. Thanks, Rick.
It's a $500,000+ project, so it's, by the way, the dollars for this, are they in the budget?
Did we
And-
vote?
What?
Did we vote?
I don't think so.
We had a motion and a second, but I don't think we
Well,
voted before
we're
we
still
did.
discussing.
Okay.
We're still in discussion.
Okay.
And so the other question I had was about timeline, and you said this could be done through the winter, during the winter, yeah. And it is in the budget.
there shouldn't be enough money in the budget, yes.
Okay. All right, any other questions before we vote? Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Report back next week, okay?
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for all the work. You got a little work to do yet, so that's okay. All right, let's go on. Number 12, do we have anything to report on number 12?
Not today.
Okay.
Work in progress.
So we said that we were going to put that on the agenda.
Yep, yeah.
As information become available, we would pursue that. Let's go then to number 13, action to supplement budgets with county commissioners contingency. That we can skip over, right?
Nope.
Oh, shoot.
Sure not.
Nice try.
She wouldn't have put it in there.
So we've got the 2 budgets that we previously had that need to be supplemented again. First one is the court-appointed attorney budget, which will need $11,031.50.
What was that, 11,000?
$11,031.50. The next one is the mentally ill budget, which will need $2,446.52. Which will leave our commissioner's contingency at $233,161.86.
Make a motion.
Good. I have a motion by, I'm looking down, Van
Gable.
Duzen, second by Commissioner Gable. Any discussion? Now
This
that,
will need to be done one more time after we pay bills in December.
so 11,000, 13,000, we should be able to skim by, but boy, it's beating us up. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? Now, help set me straight. We're at the meeting, the Sioux Conference meeting the other day, and we were talking about this, and I said that our court-appointed attorney's budget is just getting beat up bad, and everybody else was shaking their head as well, other counties, except for Spink that was sitting there right beside of me. They said, well, we don't have trouble with that because it's all contracted. We just have a contract and they have to stay within that contract.
That's what I've talked about.
And,
We need to
Well,
add
we have a
more.
public defender that has to stay within a contract. We have both.
yeah.
Because our public defenders
Yeah.
have to recuse themselves from so many cases that we still have to have a court-appointed
But
attorney.
weren't they as well?
Well, you
It's
have
a
to go
smaller
on-
population in
Yeah.
Spink County,
So we have a primary and an alternate. We might save a little bit if we had a tertiary, a third,
Right.
third.
I don't
public
know.
defender.
That's what I've talked about, maybe adding one more onto that list,
Yeah,
because
that
there are
might-
quite a few conflicts that
Yeah,
get passed on.
that might help in our case, because we have, the caseload's getting big, but it could get really complicated. But-
Because if we have a first and a second on that too, like, then we could determine who's the third next most sought after, whatever,
Well,
used.
it's not us that makes the determination,
No.
unfortunately, it's the judge,
Judge makes
and
that- oh, yeah.
But even at that, we'd be able to tell who they're using more, who they're referring them to, right? Or not?
Might be, it might be something that we would talk to the state's attorney and the judges about, what do they think of.
that's where you're gonna have to start this
Yeah.
discussion before you decide to add a third one, because, I mean, if you guarantee somebody this money and we still have all these court-appointed attorneys,
Then, yeah,
we need to have
But they're going to
something,
utilize them that, yeah.
you know,
But we certainly want to
because
use
we
that.
have so many multiple defendants is part of the problem,
Yeah.
in one case,
Yeah.
which I think Terry touched on when he was here.
If this is getting to be the precedent, then at least we could we'll have some data, some more, data to budget with. I mean, in the future, that might help a little bit, so.
It won't work for this year, but it's something to work on for next
It would
year.
certainly help us if we could do a little bit better job of budgeting, if we could
But is it
narrow
tricky,
that
though?
down or.
Well, Cindy has added to it. I mean, she does that every year. We add
It's
to
just,
that
it's so
budget.
unpredictable. I mean,
Yeah.
we could have a murder trial.
Yeah, you don't know what the
that
year's going
breaks
to
the whole
bring.
thing
Yeah,
out,
that's the
yeah.
thing. I mean,
Capital
it's
case,
the unknown.
which,
Cindy does do a good job on trying to
Yeah.
I
add
mean,
to it
it's just a
each year.
shot in the dark,
Yeah.
basically.
And then we have clerk as well, which usually it's a little bit easier to budget with that, but then you have these extra assessments if there's some
Well,
other
and yeah,
trials
that-
throughout the state.
Yeah, you've got so many of those, so many of our cases don't quite meet that
Yeah.
threshold, and, yeah. Let's see.
But they're right on the edge of meeting it, just not
So
quite.
let's, all right, so
That's the worst.
we budgeted 150,000 for the year. I'm just
This year, or they're coming for 20.
for 2019. I just want to see what we have coming for.
20.
Yeah.
I thought you increased. I thought I remember you saying that you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you increased it to what?
200,000.
200,000. That's what I was thinking.
You never know if it'll make it or not.
Because where are we at? Well, yeah, we've gone over. So.
Yeah, right now we are at 163,000.
But the
So that'd be
200,000 is
40,000.
taking care of us this year.
Well, we got one more bill paid, but I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think we're gonna, I hope we don't have $40,000.
Yeah, I hope
The
so.
final bill pay, but you never know.
Yeah.
There is also a fund that the legislature set up where counties can forward their
The mental health evals. That one?
mental health competency is
Yeah.
what they're calling
Yeah.
it. So we're working on a couple of those that we can submit. I just need court orders to go with them before I can send them in, so.
Because when you do that, you have to determine whether it's going to qualify. You can't qualify for CLERP and that. There's two different
They're
things.
two separate, yeah.
They're two separate things.
We pull
Yeah,
those out
but-
of, we
yeah.
pull them out, you see them a lot in the clerk
Yeah,
claims. but we
because
pull them out.
then, yeah,
And-
they have to be pulled out that they don't get
So
payment
anyway,
from
we just
both.
need to take action.
But at our
We have a
meeting the other
motion.
day, Bob was very specific, says if you get anything that says,
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to us also.
Yeah.
get on it.
Because if we don't, we're going to lose that funding because the state is going to say, we put that there for that and you guys aren't utilizing it.
Well, I
So
think, yeah, I mean,
that's kind of where we're at.
I think
We have a motion and a second on
Yeah.
the floor. Good discussion though. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? See none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We have claims for payment, we have payroll this month.
And we have one other one that we'll take action on first. This is our 911 surcharge collections that go to the city of Watertown. City of Watertown, in the amount of $21,806.51.
Move to approve.
Motion by Hatton, second by Gable. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign, motion carries. Now we'll take payroll.
Salary claims were in the total amount of $557,315.89, including all the step increases that you have previously approved.
Move to approve.
Motion by Hatton, second by Gable. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. How about any automatic, action approve automatic budget supplements?
Nothing for 15 or 16 today.
Very good. Action to approve travel requests, I have a couple of them.
First one is the Veteran Service Officer requesting authorization to attend mini-conference training. The second one is the Weed and Pest Supervisor to attend the Van Beest year-end event.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Gable, was it?
Yep.
And second by Commissioner Waterman. Any discussion on that? Seeing none? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. All right, public notices, possible quorum of commissioners could be in attendance at the VA Clinic Open House, which is December 5th at 10 a.m. Two Truths and a Lie. Opioid event December 5th as well at 6:15 in the evening, and that's from 8 p.m. And that's in the D.D. Miller Auditorium up at the high school. And then the last one is the CAFO Forum, and that's December 6th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that's out at the County Extension. And I am not so sure, are you supposed to pre-register for that or let them know that you're
I
going
believe
to
there's an RSVP,
Yeah.
and it is by invite only.
And it's, I discussed that with Todd, that's sponsored by Dakota Rural Action, and Todd said it might be all right to attend, you might learn something, but we've been hit pretty hard here with our discussion on CAFOs and talked about it, but there might be something new that might come up. Does anyone plan on attending that?
I haven't committed at this point, so.
Not sure.
Okay. All right, let's go on then to number 19 in our agenda, and that's any old business that we might have. Any old business? Any old business? Any mature business? Seeing
Mr.
none?
Chair,
Go ahead.
Commissioner Waterman and I will be meeting tomorrow to work out some more details on the campground contract.
Okay.
So we'll be bringing those forth, hopefully, I don't know, maybe next week. We'll see. Cindy, I'll let you know if we need to get that
Yeah,
on the
I'll let you know by
agenda.
noon tomorrow, if it needs to go on the agenda.
It's not going to be, so
Okay.
we're not going to be done with it by then.
Yeah, short week.
Yeah,
Well,
that's right.
not unless you can say, put it on, and doesn't necessarily mean if they get it
Yeah, why don't
figured
you
out.
put it on the agenda, and then if we get it done, yeah, yeah.
Just in case they would, that.
Yeah, we can always,
What else are you going to do over Thanksgiving?
Okay, what about new business? Any new business?
Just real quick,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, there's a JDAI meeting today at noon at the Boys and Girls Club. So
What meeting is that?
JDAI,
Okay.
Juvenile Detention Alternative Initiative. So
And that's up at the
Boys and Girls
Boys and
Club.
Girls Club.
Yep.
The only other thing that I would have there is that at 3 o'clock today, Len Vilhauer and the city attorney and state's attorney and I and Cindy, if she can make it, are going to get together and do some work on the Dakota Sioux contract or agreement and see what we can put together or where we're going to go from there.
So this is for the memorandum of understanding that's kind of written out for us in the compact.
Yeah, and I'll let you know next week how we turn out on that or what we're planning to proceed to do. Anything for the open?
I guess I would like to congratulate the Watertown volleyball team for their state title. It was amazing to watch them play. They were very focused and did just a great job. The fans, the student section, the parent section, everybody was respectful, and it was a fun event and fun to be there and be part of that. good job.
First championship in 22 years.
Absolutely. They deserve it. They worked hard, and this isn't just 1 year of work. This is many years
No
of
question
work.
about it. They won all 3 of their games
Yeah, in 3.
without losing a set. They were,
Although they made us a
dominated the
little
tournament.
nervous in the second set.
what's that?
Although they made us a little nervous in the
They were
second
we were
set.
a little nervous, yeah.
They did
Oh, they had to
well. They
keep
did
you on the
well.
edge of your seat.
And it worked.
I always, and I'll continue to say this, if 3 or 4 of those girls got the ball hit to them on the other side of the net, and I was on the other side of the net, I'd be looking for a place to hide. That's all I know.
They can hit hard. They do.
They can
They're
hit hard.
amazing.
Anything else? Any comments from the commissioners, anything that might be going on? And I just give you my weekly report from the wind tower activity up there last night. I mean, it was pitch dark. It was dark last night. My wife and I were coming back from a meeting about 8:30, and so we drove up there and we watched. They worked through the night, and we watched. They were putting up, well, there's three different places that they were actually working, and I'll just pass my phone around. There's about 3 or 4 pictures that we took. I mean, it was pitch dark, and you could
Go ahead, go that way.
see just.
Before we
page
end
to
the
left.
meeting, we can do that later.
Yeah, paid to the left, but anyway.
I did provide you all with a fact sheet
Yeah.
from the Department of Revenue. It
Yep.
just came out on how taxes are calculated on
The nameplate
renewable
tax.
energy, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the nameplate
Thanks,
tax is divvied up, just like other property tax revenues and the production tax.
The
some of
state
that-
does it,
some of
yeah.
That goes to the state.
Yeah. State, it goes to the state and then they send it back, I believe.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah, and they do it by a
I've had a
percentage.
chance to look at it myself, so it just came in this morning.
We have an exact, otherwise I make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion by Hatton to adjourn, seconded by Van Duzen. Any discussion on that? I see none, and there shouldn't be any, so all in favor to keep it saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, we are adjourned. Thank you. Anybody want to see the